everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and we are back with another episode of the Gibraltar Challenge. Now I have a little bit of bad news, as you can probably see by the top of the screen. For some reason my video file completely corrupted and I've got no way of getting it back. I've looked and I haven't even got a saved game before the Champions League, so it's a bit of a shame. We actually got Maccabi Haifa from Israel. We did pretty well. We drew 1-1 at home. We came back from 1-0 down to get the equaliser. And then in the second leg, we went 2-0 down in the first half, should I say, sorry. We came out in the second half, we scored a goal, and we were losing 2-1. It got to about 10 minutes left, and we just went all-out attack, basically. And we had a couple of opportunities to score that goal, which would have put us through on away goals, but it just wasn't going to happen. And then they broke and beat us as well. So that was a bit disappointing. I'm annoyed that video file disappeared. Any video file to lose is annoying, but the Champions League one, it's what we build up to every single season, the Champions League. And yeah, it's another not a great time for us, to tell the truth. So we'll build ourselves up once again. And as you can see, there's probably a couple of names you don't recognise. Well, mainly Eric Franks. But I'll have a look at the transfers in a second. This episode, we're going to watch two games, of course, as normal. We're going to play off against Britannia in the Pepe Reyes Cup. And then we're going to play off against Gibraltar Phoenix as well in our first game of the season. Transfers. It's been a bit crazy. It really has. Ignore these. These are the ones that I'm trying to work on at the moment. Right, this is what's happened. You'll see over here there's been some big losses that I'm really not happy about. Luis Felipe has now gone to Plymouth. He said we weren't big enough club for him, and I suppose he has gone and joined a club in the Championship. So it's a good move for him, I suppose, but it's very, very disappointing for us as well to lose him on a free transfer. Cristiano we've lost as well. He's gone to Balitika, I don't know, the Russian Premier League. They're a pretty good team as well. They offered up to £1 million close anyway, so we happened to really let him go, and he was forcing the move as well, so it's a bit disappointing. Triffitt, all three of our attacking midfielders from last season have all disappeared this year. He's gone, he was trying to push for a move as well, which is a little bit disappointing, but he's gone for £350,000, but there is clauses in there, so we will get future moves as well if possible. We'll let Boanet go. And Panya, one of our young Romanian players, he had a good future with us, I think. He'd never played a game for us, but we had him since he was 16 years of age for a couple of years. He'd grown quite a bit, and we managed to get 100 grand for him, plus 50% of any future transfer. So it was a pretty good deal for us as well, I suppose. And then, as you can see, we've got a few players out on loan. Dumitrescu, our young Romanian goalkeeper, has gone to Gibraltar United on loan. And he's actually playing quite a few games there as well, I think. I don't think the season started as yet, but he's been playing Europa League for them. Henry Moreta, another player that's gone out on loan to Gibraltar United. And again, he is doing okay. He's not played a game for them as of yet, but I think that's because they haven't played a league game yet. But I think he'll be a good one for them as well. Manalash has gone out to Petrolul. I think that's a club in Romania. And he's played 3 games for them so far. Not at the best of average ratings, but still doesn't matter to us too much as long as he's getting a bit of first team football. And a couple of players gone out to Cannons. We've got Steve Gregory, who's a player we just brought back in the summer. We did actually release him beginning of the summer, then I brought him back just because I wanted to loan him out to Cannons and make him a little bit stronger. And Jeff Isles, another player that we did play for 1 game last year, wasn't very good, but I've kept him on literally just to send him to Cannons on loan to try and boost them up. I did try and send quite a few players to Cannons, but they all rejected the loan deal, saying they could do a little bit better. Right now, we've actually spent £80,000, which is our biggest ever amount spent. And as you can see, it is just on 2 players. We're going to go through these players now anyway. We've gone back to, of course, the FA Centre of Excellence in Australia to bring back another new goalkeeper in Jubulani Mashego. Another really good Australian goalkeeper. He's going to be fighting out Ramito for that first team place. I think both goalkeepers are going to have to share quite a bit, I think. We've signed a Togolese centre-back called Nabombe. He looked like he was going to be quite a good player. I've been raiding through the under-20s again in Africa. He looked like he was going to be quite a good player, but he doesn't seem to be as fantastic as I'd first hoped. But you never know. We might see if we can get some good growth out of him. Obef Patiño. I was looking at the Colombian under-20s because, of course, we do have the right-back. And I come across this guy who's on a free transfer as well. So I thought, why not? He's valued at 2.2 thousand, which obviously we got values towards the end of last season, which has helped us out quite a lot. He used to play for Banfield, and he's not on too much of a wage as well. He looks like a very good player. Can play centre-back and defensive midfield as well, so I think we'll see quite a bit of him this season. Steve Gregory, as I mentioned, I brought him back literally just to send him back off to Cannons to see if we can boost them up a little bit. Eric Franks. Now, this is a player who's done very well for us so far. Played in the Champions League, scored in both games against Maccabi Haifa. Really good young-looking player. Brought him from Jersey Express on a free transfer. It's really good because players over in America don't seem to have contracts. They all seem to be, they all seem to be unprotected, so you can just sign them straight up. So that's been pretty good for us. And he looks like a really good player. Another young striker here, we got Zaid Ben Yahia, a player that I've actually signed a couple of years ago when he was 16, and he had virtually the same stats. I was hoping he was going to build them stats up, but of course he hasn't been playing for a club. So now hopefully we'll start to build him up a little bit. Don't know how good he's going to be, but they reckon he's very good for a youth rating and got a decent potential for the main team. Who knows? Jared Madison, another American. I brought quite a few Americans in the last couple of years, haven't I? A centre-back this time. Looks like a pretty good player. He's got some low stats, but he's got some good stats where we need him to be. So, yeah, we'll just keep to see if he can grow. And I'm sure he'll get a bit of football with us this year as well. Eric Bernal, another American. This time a very good centre midfielder. And I think he's going to be a good player for us. He's got pretty good stats in mental and physical, all in the greens, which is good. And he's got some really good ones in technical as well. There's still a few stats we'd like to see him build up. But I think he's going to be a very good player for us, actually. He can go straight into the first team now. This is a player I'm very excited about, hence why we spent the £60,000 on him. Serge Etundi. I was looking at Banning, obviously, because he now plays for the Cameroonian under-20s, and I found this player, and I thought to myself, he's 18 years of age, he's got some really good stats. And I don't know why, I just went for it. I went for the... I didn't want to. I offered like his value, which is about £4,000 at the time, and they said no, and then I just kept going up and up and up until they eventually accepted £60,000, and I got to that point and thought, you know what, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna go for it, and looks to be quite a good player. We've got him locked in now for a couple of years, I think. No, he's only locked until the end of the season. I'll talk about some of the contracts in a minute, but he's still valued at $22,500. Jose Delgado, another young player. Not quite sure, to tell the truth. We bunged him down the under-21s. We needed a bit of strength and depth in a way, so we bunged him down the under-21s. We'll see what happens with him. Kwesi Oladiji. Now, I was looking for some more players just to help bolster our squad up, and I realised we didn't have a lot of attacking wingers or wide midfielders as it is anyway. So I found this guy as a free transfer, just been released by QPR. So I think he could be a good player for us as well. Seems to have good stats. He is out injured at the moment with a twisted ankle, which isn't very helpful. Richard Jones. Now this guy looks like a fantastic player as well. Signed him up on a free transfer, and instantly his value went to £215,000. Been released by Chelsea. I think this lad's going to be very, very good for us. Yet to play a game. I'm pretty sure he'll make his debut in the match against Britannia, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure he's going to be a good one for us. And the last player we signed is another youngster. It's Lucas Heikel, 16-year-old Czech Republican midfielder. Again, it's just a case of just bringing someone into the under-18s and just seeing how they develop over the next couple of years. We've done well with players like Broga. He's done very, very well for us over the last couple of years to develop. So maybe he could be the next one, Heikel. So enough of that. Obviously, of course, our next match is going to be against Britannia in the Pepe Reyes Cup. So let's get straight into that one. Show you a few of our new players. And here we go. As you can see, we are massive favourites for this one, and we have gone quite attacking as well. So I'm promising goals in this one. And I just noticed their key man is Jack Yeboah. Good to see him doing well. He's, of course, a player that started off at us. Played a few games. He was not really the best rated player, but he seemed to always play well when we brought him on. But eventually we released him because we just thought that he would get a better time at some of the other clubs. So I released him, and obviously Britannia picked him up there, and he's been playing for them ever since. So good to see him doing well. The key player for Britannia. Right, we have gone all out attack, as you can see. We've gone for a 4-1-2-3, I suppose that is. And let's have a quick look at the team. We've got Ramito in goal, who has been fighting against an injury but has made it back for this game. And like I said, I think he's going to have to share that first team football with Mashego this season, I think. We're playing Baxter at left back because Jared Murphy, our Australian left back, is currently injured. He got injured on international duty, so Baxter comes back in. A player we're going to have to try and play a bit more because he's unhappy. I put him on the transfer list, not because I wanted to get rid of him, just because I thought that it would be nice. If somebody else wanted him, I would have let him go. So we're going to take him off the transfer list for now. We're going to play Obeth Patino at defence. He's one of our new signings. He's played quite well, played both of the Champions League matches, started one and came on the other one as a sub. As you can see, stats-wise, looks to be a very, very good player, and I'm hoping we can get his value up quite a bit as well. Alongside him, we have Nick Harlton, a player who didn't really play a lot last season. because we had Garcia and another centre-back, I can't remember who it was now, but we had a really strong defensive, and it was Garcia and Dulce were both playing as centre-backs, but obviously Garcia's gone back to Athletic now and Dulce's out injured at the moment, so Harton's going to get the opportunity here today. We had to fight to keep a hold of him, actually. Quite a few clubs made bids for him. We've got Jamie Wildman at right back, a player who did a very good work for us last season. Didn't score any goals, but made quite a few of them, and was a real rock at that right back position. Marlon Manning, a player at defensive midfield, a player who's currently unhappy because we didn't play him enough last season, and I sort of agree with him, to tell the truth. We didn't really play him as much as we probably should have done. He's a very, very good player. He is actually wanted as well. He's wanted by Wolves, so it shows you how good of a player he is to be wanted by a club like that. Chris Morgan, what a fantastic player this is, and a player I've just managed to tie down on a 3-year contract, so I'm very, very happy about that. This guy is just going to keep growing. He's just going to get better and better and better. He's being eyed up by Italy as well as being eyed up by the Australian national side as well. So he might get his first cap for Australia soon as well. But just an absolute cracking player. And he's going to be our club captain for the season. Alongside him we've got Pavisa Moss, a player who we almost lost in the summer once again. A lot of clubs came in for him in Croatia. We managed to keep a hold of him. We managed to lock him in. No, we haven't actually. We need to get him signed up for another year contract, don't we? But yeah, he looks to be quite a good player. He's not quite on the same level as the other 3 attacking midfielders we had, but still he's been a good player for us over the last couple of years, and I think he's just going to keep getting better. Then up front we have got an absolutely lethal trio. We've got Frank Banning, a player we brought in towards the end of last season, scored quite a few goals. He scored 6 goals in 11 league games, but I think overall he scored 9 goals in 13 games with cup matches as well, so he did very, very well, and I think he's just going to get better and better this season. The main stat is this one, the work rate. He's just fantastic because there was a few occasions last season when we had corners and this man was sprinting out from the corner and he was always the first man to the ball. He's such a good player. Alongside him we're going to play Franks, our new USA striker, who played both of the games against Maccabi Haifa, got 2 goals as well, so he looks to have hit the ground running, and he's cheap. Look at that, £400 a week. That's very, very good. I want to try and, when we get late into the season, because at the moment, I'll talk about this now, at the moment I can now start to offer players longer contracts. The club is allowing me to do that now, so I've been offering players like 2 or 3 year deals, which is very, very good, because it means we're not going to risk losing them like we did with Luis Felipe. If we know a player's coming to his last year of his contract and he's not going to accept it, we can look to sell him then. So hopefully we won't keep losing too much money in the future. And then alongside them we have our new striker, of course, Richard Jones, released by Chelsea. This is going to be his senior debut. He's never played a game before. Never played a game before, so he's going to get his first chance here today, and I'm pretty sure he's going to knock a couple of goals in. On the bench, we got Machego, Madison, Etundi, Bustamante and Dulce. I'm sure we'll see a couple of those, if not 3 of those, in the game altogether. They've also got Aidan Ives, which is a player we used to have. I think we released him on a free transfer, and they've got Jackie Boa. So, yeah, it's nice to see that we're sort of giving great players to the rest of the league, and that's going to be a good thing, really, for everyone. So let's go out there and win this trophy. It might be a little bit rocky to start things off with because we've got quite a few new players that have never played together before. This is their first match together, and I'm hoping that's not going to be too much of a problem for them. Come on, guys. What have you got in the locker? What have you got in the locker? I'm sure... Well, 8 minutes in we haven't scored yet. That's terrible. Come on, guys. Of course, a few of these players aren't 100% match fit yet. We have had a couple of friendly matches, but a few of the players that I brought in came in after the friendly matches, so they've not really got the full effect of it. And the Champions League match was about 6 weeks ago before this game. It was crazy. The Champions League match was like in the middle of July, and this game doesn't happen until beginning of September. So it's a little bit frustrating how much the gap is, really. And that's one of our main problems. I keep mentioning it. One of our main problems is match fitness. We don't seem to have the match fitness when it comes round to the Champions League, and that's a big issue for us. As it looks like there on the attack, it's parody to Jackie Boa, who's already been booked, only 20 minutes into the game against his former club. Benson's on the ball now. We don't want to concede here. Jackie Boa's on the ball again. Plays it across the hall, and both their centre midfielders have been booked. And Patinho cuts it out beautifully and plays the big ball up, finds Banning, who's clear through. Can he get the first goal of the game? No, he puts it into the side netting. But almost out of nowhere there, we just hit them on the break, and a great ball over the top by Patinho, and we nearly got the goal. We need to turn our possession into something here. We've got 3 strikers on the pitch, all very much capable of scoring a lot of goals this season. I've got 3 different formations. One's got 3 strikers, one's got 2, one's got 1. And a little bit of a hint to anyone else out there, a play Football Manager, it's always a good idea to have 3 different formations, and it's always a good idea to keep changing between them, because I didn't realise until I've been playing this game for a while that the computer actually gets used to what your tactics are. So you need to keep changing every few games just to keep the computer guessing. Otherwise they catch you out. As Moss is on the ball now, plays a big ball over. Can Franks get there? No, it's headed by Dyer, but Morgan heads it forward. Franks is now on there, and bit of head tennis there, and it's finally caught by Wood in goal. And looks like Britannia are going to get through to half time here, holding us off. Big goal kick out, and it's gone straight over the head, and Benson's on it. Can he do anything here? No, it's taken off him by Halton. Great defensive work. Our defence is solid this season. It really is. And I can say it's a bit of a shame we've lost a couple of our really good attacking midfielders. And Franks, has that got in? It has gone in. That's going to be an own goal, unfortunately. But it's a shame because Franks nearly had that one. It's an own goal. But yeah, we've lost quite a few big players. We lost Cristiano, Philippe and Twyford, our 3 main attacking midfielders. But I'm hoping we can start to build some other players. It's not a major thing because those 3 players are on a lot of wages, and the players we've brought in to replace them are on a fraction of that. So monetary-wise, we're doing better. But at the same time, it's a disappointing to lose them, because I think we would have done a little bit better in the Champions League should we still have them. Right, so 1-0 up at half-time. Let's be sort of keen on them, I suppose. We don't want to be too over the top. I probably could have done something a little bit better, trying to push them on. We sort of played well. We've dominated the majority of the possession, I should imagine. There's Banning, a player that I really like. Scored a lot of goals last season for us. There's the big cross in. And I think once these guys get used to playing with each other, and once they start to get their match fitness up as well, I think we're going to be a real force to be reckoned with this season. Moss, it's cut out by Benson, and they clear the ball. Now I am thinking of substitutes pretty soon, because I don't want to risk getting anyone else injured. We've got quite a few injuries at the moment, which is a bit annoying. We had a huge amount of injuries a few weeks back, but luckily a few of them have managed to come back to match fitness for this game. And we are at the hour mark now, so we are going to... we'll wait to the end of this highlight before we make any substitutions. As Benson's on the ball, plays it forward to Knight. Knight now going backwards rather than forwards, plays it back to White. White launches the ball forward and Manning cuts it out. That's what Manning's there for. He's great at just breaking down the play and allowing Morgan and Moss to bring it forward. It's Franks on the ball now. Taken out by Oliveira. The guy actually scored the own goal. But Halton there again to block it off. And we've got such a good defence at the moment. And we've also got players like Jim Morrison, our new American guy as well. Jones is in. Oh. Of course, Jones is the guy who's making his first ever professional appearance. He's never played a professional game before. Got released by Chelsea. And we've signed him up now. And he looks like a fantastic player, actually. A real good signing for us. And we need to do more of these sort of signings. Signings that are worth a lot of money. So if we do have to sell them. Because I think he's locked in for 2 or 3 years as well. Franks is over the top here. Can he put it in? No, he's put it into the side netting. So now we are going to make some substitutes. Who do we want to do? Who do we want? I sort of want to keep Jones on. So we're going to bring on Bustamante. You know what? We're going to cancel that and we're going to go into advanced tactics. Because I want to try and change this around a bit. I want to try and bring in Etundi as well if I can. We'll bring on Bustamante in place of Banning. Or do we? No. We're going to bring on Bustamante in place of Franks. We're going to bring on Entundi for Banning and play him out there. I know it's a little bit strange formation-wise, but I don't think it matters too much. Should we bring on Maddison as well? I think we should hold off just in case we get an injury, but we'll leave it like that. I didn't want to have... I'm such a stickler for... I'm such a stickler normally for symmetry, but in this situation I want to try and bring in Etundi. I did want to play with 2 attacking wide players in this game and 1 striker, but it wouldn't work out because the left-hand side attacking player is currently out injured. And our Ghanaian lad we showed you earlier on, our free transfer, he's out injured as well. So we haven't got any players to play out on the left at the moment. So Etundi's sort of in limbo until we can get a left midfielder fit again. And I'm surprised we're only 1-0 up. It's not been... I promised quite a few goals in this game and we're not doing overly well so far. Wonder whether Bustamante can do anything for us. Of course, Manning is also a cracking free kick taker, as we saw towards the end of last season. Not Manning, sorry, Banning. Keep getting Manning and Banning mixed up. There's Baxter. Plays it forward to Morgan, into Bustamante. Plays it back out to Baxter. Plays it to Morgan. Back to Baxter. Come on. There's Manning. Manning forward to Morgan. Can Morgan see a killer ball? He does. Through to Jones. And Jones does get a goal on his first ever professional match. Richard Jones. Instant impact for him as well. And a debut goal. Fantastic work. And I thought he'd sort of lost it there. And the goalkeeper probably could have come out and got that, but he fought against it. And Morgan's ball slid through to Jones absolutely perfectly. And there we go, 2-0 up. And Chris Morgan, of course, the club captain, looking fantastic. We did this quite a lot last season, if we're going to score another goal here. We do it. It's Harleton. He's had a great game. He deserves that goal. And Etundi showed how good he is at corners as well. Yeah, we did this quite a lot last season. We struggled to get the goals. And then as soon as it hit 70 minutes, we just sort of dominated the game. And I don't know if that's something to do with the fact that we're a professional side and these are semi-professional sides. So our fitness is a lot better than some of these other clubs. I wonder if that's anything to do with it. It's a good goal for Harleton. I think he deserves it because he's done so well in defence today. You've seen him cut out quite a few moves that Britannia have come forward with. And you sort of think to yourself, if he wasn't around, then we may have ended up actually conceding a couple of goals. He's done very well for us today, Harleton. Could say a player who hasn't played a lot last year. But you can see our weaknesses at the moment, can't you? I think Baxter, probably, he's played all game and he's only played a 6.8. Whereas even the guy is, 6.9 for Etundi. Bustamante's only 6.7, but like I said, he only came on the hour mark. So he's a little bit more sort of fairness to him. And here we go, the last 20 seconds. Can we keep a clean sheet in this Pepe Reyes Cup final? Matthew Smith plays it forward and it's going to go straight off the pitch. And I think that could be the end of the game there. There we go. There's the end of the game. The win here for Europa FC. Or Europa Point, sorry, FC, should I say. We've won the Pepe Reyes Cup again. We win the Pepe Reyes Cup every single season, I think. But we've done really well there. I'm very, very happy with that. We could have probably scored a few more goals, but I think debut-wise, so you saw the debut of Patiño, and Jones, and the league debut of Franks as well, and Etundi's debut as well. So not too bad. I'm very happy with how that's panned out. So let's have a quick look at our first league game of the season as well against Gibraltar United, I think it was, and see just how strong we're going to be in the league this year. And here we are. We are finally here with our first league game of the season. And I say that because I didn't realise there's like a 2.5 week gap in between the Pepe Reyes Cup and our first league match of the season. But here we are. Let's go for it. We are heavy favourites, as you can see, to play off against Gibraltar Phoenix, who I think have just been promoted. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know Glasses have definitely just been promoted, but I think Gibraltar Phoenix may have been as well. I'm pretty sure we're going to win this one. We've changed the formation slightly, as you can see, mainly just to try a few new players out as well. We're going to go for Machego in goal, given his debut. I don't think there's going to be any problems with Matilda. I think he's going to be a fantastic goalkeeper. At left back, we've got Murphy back after his injury. He's not 100% back, but I still think we'll bring him in for this game anyway. We're going to actually play Manning at centre-back, mainly because he's moaning about the lack of first-team football, so I thought we can still give him this match right here. Alongside him, we've got Nick Harleton, who of course had that fantastic game in the Pepe Reyes Cup. Scored a goal. His first ever goal, actually, for them, is it? That might be the first ever goal he scored for us. That was good. Right back, we've got Wilmer. They want to play our Colombian right back, but he's currently just playing for the reserve, so he's not 100% fit yet. We're going to play our new American centre midfielder, Bernal, see how he gets on. Be his first game for us, and I think he's going to do really well as well. A good player. And alongside him, we've got Pavisa Moss, another player who was moaning about not getting enough first-team football. And I think that's mainly because we had 3 fantastic centre-attacking midfielders last year. Of course, we've lost all 3 of them now, so I would imagine Moss is going to get a lot more football. We've got Baird playing at attacking left midfield, a player we brought towards the end of last season. Only played 9 games for us, but did really well last season. I think he's going to continue to grow this year. Of course, that means we can play Serge Atundi at right midfield. And this is a player that I want to play a lot. I think he's a really good player. And of course, he's very good rating for the club now, and he's only 18 years of age. So I can't imagine when he starts to hit his potential just how good he is going to be. Up front, we've got Richard Jones, who of course scored his first goal in the Pepe Reyes Cup. It doesn't count against the career stats though, because I think it only counts league games in the career stats for some reason. And alongside him, we have our American striker Eric Franks. I think both these guys are going to score a lot of goals for us this season. I really do. So let's get straight into our first league game of the season. See if we can start things off with a nice, healthy win. I can't imagine there's going to be much danger of not doing that. So yeah, debuts for Mashego, Bernal, and a first start for Etundi. Let's see how they get on. I'm sure we're going to do well. There's a lot of players that are still going to play quite a bit of football this season. I've tried to use quite a few of the new players just to show you guys exactly who we've got. And again, I'll probably do the same this season as I've done the last few. I will play through the majority of the league. I'll show you the last 2 league games of the season, and then I shall also show you the 2 cup finals should we reach them, and I should imagine we hopefully will. And then of course the Champions League when we get there as well. Unless anything major happens, I need to bring you back earlier. That's probably what we'll do. And you see, we're at home for this one, so the majority of the stadium is nicely packed out. And that's what we want to do. We want to continue to build ourselves up. We have been slowly selling more season tickets every single year. This season we sold 120. Last season we sold 111. So we've gained an extra 9 season ticket holders, which is good. I'm not surprised. I think they'd be happy to see the sort of players that we're bringing in now. The problem is, I'm a little bit annoyed because we're losing more and more Gibraltarian players, but they're just not good enough. As Baird scores the first goal, assisted by Etundi. Great goal. I'm happy with that. Finn Baird, first goal of the season. I think he's going to score quite a few this season. And I think having these 2 attacking wide players as well is really going to help us out. You see Etundi gets the ball. Jones was a little bit out of position, but Baird at the far post. Simple tap-in, really, wasn't it? Right, so 1-0 up, and they're going to get a highlight straight from the kickoff. Can we make it 2-0 straight from the kickoff? That'd be amazing. Or can they equalise straight away? Looks like it's gone straight to Marlon Manning. Plays it across to Jared Murphy, who plays a big ball forward. Oh, it got cut out before it reached Etundi. Manning again heads it forward. What I might do is I might bring you back, say half through the season. I might bring you back in January for a couple of games, just to show you exactly how the season's going on, and then bring you back towards the end. Because it gets a little bit, I suppose for you guys it might get a little bit difficult because we've got that many players coming in and out all the time now. It might get a little bit difficult to keep on track of exactly what's happening. It's okay for me because I'm playing all the games. I can get used to these players, but for you guys, oh, Baird scored a second. Yeah, you guys must be difficult to keep on top of things. So I might bring you back a little bit early, just mid-season, just to have a couple more games, show you exactly what's going on, who's doing well, who's playing well. Maybe towards the end of the January transfer window when we made a couple of transfers ourselves, and of course we may have lost a couple of players. Hopefully not this season, but you never know what's going to happen. And I don't know how many more seasons we're going to have to go before we can finally build our own stadium. I think if we can do a little bit better in the Champions League, then that should hopefully just sort of that should kickstart our fan base a lot more as well. You know what people are like. Somebody becomes really successful and all of a sudden they've got loads and loads more fans. Bernal on the ball now, playing it into Moss. See, our club is comprised of quite a few Americans and quite a few Australians now. It's a bit not the strongest nations in the world, but they're bringing out some good young players that we've been able to pick up. Baird has already scored 2 goals this game. Plays it back to Bernal. Into Pavisa Moss. Plays it into Franks. Franks sees Jones, and Jones, oh, great save Halliday. They were almost 3-0 down there in the first 20 minutes. Etundi with a corner kick. It's another good corner. It's gone straight over the top, and it looks like Halton is going to pick it up at the far post. Has he got across him, Halton? He does play across. It was cut out, but it managed to reach Bernal anyway. Murphy. And it looks like that is the end of the highlights. I'm sure there'll be a lot more goals in this one, you know. Come on, guys. Here we go. Got another highlight. I'd like to see Baird get himself a hat-trick as well. He looked like a good player last year, but we didn't have many attacking right midfielders. So again, we had to play a little bit wonky with one attacking left midfielder and no attacking right midfielder. So I managed to find a Tundi. And I think these 2 guys together are going to dominate these 2 wings. And Moss is on the ball now. Moss into Jones. And Jones has got a bit of time. And again, Halliday with a save. If it wasn't for Halliday, I think Phoenix would be a couple more goals down than what they already are now. Etundi with the corner. And it's a foul by Hyton. I thought we were going to get the penalty there. But no, we fouled them. And we continue on at 2-0. So yeah, this is I always like to play with attacking wingers like this, but we just haven't had the players the last few years. So we've had to play quite narrow. And yeah, it's nice to get back to this sort of formation. I normally like to play with the 2 defensive midfielders, but the problem is now we've got 4 really good strikers, so I can't really play with defensive midfielders and 1 striker because it's just not going to work for us. And there's Jones with a goal. Set up by Atundi once again, and Richard Jones with his second goal. His first ever league goal as well. That's going to be good for him. And like I say, I think this guy is going to be a fantastic signing for us. The player's worth them. Oh, and I think Cristiano was worth 200. Yeah, this guy's worth more than Cristiano was. So it just shows you how good he might be. And there's the goal from a narrow angle as well. It's pretty good. What else have we got? What else can we do here? Is there another sting in the tail for us? Come on, guys, push forward. Well, we're 3-0 up before half-time anyway. We've got another highlight. We might be able to squeeze another goal in before half-time. Bernal to Murphy, across to Manning. Moss forward to Franks. Franks plays it out wide to Atundi, who's already got 2 assists. Plays a great ball, and there's Jones for his second goal of the game, and Atundi's third assist. And this guy, this Atundi, looks like he's going to be an absolute assist machine here. 3 assists in his first league game. That's just incredible. And it was a really good cross while Franks sees the run of Atundi, and Atundi sees a great ball across the penalty area, and Jones at the back post to tap it in for his second goal of the game. And this is just too easy, isn't it? Too easy. This is why I don't bring you back too much during the season like we used to, because it's just games like this now. Like I say, I think I'll bring you back halfway through the season just to show you exactly how we're going on, how many goals we've scored, and if we've sold or lost any players in January. But apart from that, I think we're pretty much dominant here, aren't we, really? Bernal across to Moss. Moss forward to Franks. Franks sends it over the top, and Jones, who is on a hat-trick now as well as Baird. Baird, who plays it back to Murphy. That's going to be the end of the highlights. But 16 shots, 11 on target. They've had 0 shots, 0 on target. We've really just dominated the game from start to finish, haven't we? Who we got on the bench? Anyone we can look to bring on? Banning is on the bench. Might bring him on. Morgan doesn't really need to. Dulce, maybe a bit match fitness. Broga match fitness. Miller, I don't know. I'm thinking Manning. I don't really want to take Franks off, but I think I'm going to have to. Banning's not played fantastic in the last couple of games, so I think I might bring him on just to see if we can boost him up a little bit. Then Dulce is lacking match fitness, so we'll bring him on in place of... Ooh, I think we'll bring him off in place of Moss, and we'll push Manning into centre midfield, I think. We'll do a bit of that. And Machego finally got hold of the ball here on his debut. Looks like he's going to go for a run himself. Plays the ball forward. It's up to Jones. Cut out by Ed Dew, and Davis has got it now. And Jared Murphy just takes it off Davis. And Moss sees the run of Baird, who's behind the back line. Plays it across to Jones unselfishly. And there's Jones knocking in his hat-trick. And, oh, we made the substitution, haven't we? I was just about to change it round. And I was just going to take off Jones instead. But a great start to his league career here for Jones. 3 goals for him. And Baird and Atundi down their wings have looked absolutely lethal, and clever little move there by Baird. Saw he was getting a little bit outnumbered there and played the ball through to Jones to knock into that corner, and Jones looks like he's going to be a very, very good player for us, you know. Top quality player. Well, they all do. Atundi, Baird and Jones have all had fantastic times up front today. I suppose Phoenix are not the most difficult team to play against. Not really the standard for this league. I think they're pretty much lower down. But still, it's a good win for us to get, and it's going to bolster up our goal difference to start things off. Burnout to Baird. Back into Jones. And Garcia clears only as far as Harleton. He's done so well that so far this season, Harleton. Atundi sees a big long ball into Jones. Jones, can he return the favour to Baird? He does play the ball to Baird, but not in the position that Baird wanted it. It's gone back to Jared Murphy. Plays it forward to Bernal on his debut to Manning. Into Baird. It's a good tackle by Wilkinson. Out to Banning. Banning sees the run of Atundi. He deserves a goal. Doesn't get it. Banning with a shot as well. Manning, and Manning finally does poke it in. Manning and Banning combining to score a goal there. Lots of shots at the goalkeeper, and it was finally one too many when Manning taps it into the open net. Atundi deserves a goal for the performance he's put in today. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to be the case. And Manning with that little outside of the boot toe poke just sends it into the open net. And we are leading 6-0 here. And I love the way that Banning gets an assist just simply for kicking the ball at the goalkeeper and it bouncing back, and Manning scoring the goal. Do we have a substitute left back on the bench? We do have Ashley Riley, so he's going to come on and play some Murphy, who's struggling for fitness. Plus it gives Riley a little bit of first team football as well. We've had 30 shots, 18 on target there, still yet to have a single shot, but still we're fouling them quite a lot. And I'm not quite sure why. That seems to be a problem we've had quite a lot, especially in the Champions League, is fouls. Big ball forward by Mashego, comes to Banning. It's been a bit of a disappointing debut for Mashego because he hasn't had a chance to do anything, has he really? Banning with a shot, it's saved by Holloway. I was hoping we were going to get the 7th goal then, but it doesn't look like we are. Looks like we're going to have to stick for 6-0, it's a bit of a shame. I want to try and beat the goal scoring record in this league, which currently I believe is a 9-1 victory for St. Joseph's. I'm surprised that we still don't hold a lot of the records. We still don't hold top goal scorer for the league. We still don't hold top assists for the league. We've got the most points. We don't hold the most goals. So we need to try and beat some of these records, I think. But yeah, very, very good for these. 6-0 victory. I'm very happy with that. Richard Jones with the hat-trick and the man of the match. Can't ask for much more than that. Atundi, a 9.3 rating with 3 assists. Baird, 2 goals and an assist as well. I think we've found ourselves a lovely team here. I really do. I think we've got a lot of good balance. We've finally filled in some of the positions that we were struggling with in the winger positions. And of course we do have our Ghanaian lad as well that we signed, 24-year-old, who can also fill in both those positions as well. We're going to have to keep changing the formations around just to make sure everyone gets a bit of first team football. But so far, I'm very happy with how things are going. So let's have a quick look at the schedule. I'm sure things might change. As you can see, we're top of the table with 6 goals, as you can imagine. Let's have a quick look at the schedule, see what we're going to do. I think we'll come back probably here for St. Joseph's and Lynx. And that way it's the end of the January transfer window. We can have a discussion about what's happened in this period of time here. Have a look and see if we brought anyone else in January, because I've been doing that quite a bit and I think that's probably a problem. I've been buying quite a lot of players in January, and it probably gets a little bit more confusing for you guys, because at the moment you're getting sort of 3 episodes a season. I'm bringing in so many players and selling so many players that it's very, very difficult to keep on track of what's going on. So yeah, I'll probably bring you back in January to have that little discussion about who we brought in and who we've sold, and then obviously show you a couple more league games as well. I might try and come back and give you 3 games. I'm not 100% sure. Might give you 3 games. We'll see how I feel. Anyway, I'll see you in a couple of days for that next video.